specifically that you noticed the team kind of struggled with?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we struggled defensively. We weren't able to get them off the field on third downs. Obviously they have a very good offense. They got a good offensive line, good quarterback, good running back, some good receivers, and so they're talented on offense. But we didn't do a good enough job getting them off the field on third downs, and it hurt us.
Was it the quarterback? Because I mean, his ability to run seemed to really. I mean, what he had like 5 rushing touchdowns. Was it just like break like? Eventually, whenever it just opened up, like, was that kind of the difference maker in the game, you think?
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, he's going to be a college football player, and he's a good player and did a good job, and they have good schemes, they have good linemen, and did a good job. And when he saw some lanes, some of those were designed quarterback runs, some of them were scrambles, but when he saw a lane, he took it, and we had a hard time getting him down.
If you look at, I guess, from trying to take a positive approach into things, what would you say would be your takeaway from it?
Well, I thought offensively we did some good things. I mean, we didn't score enough points to win, obviously, but we're doing some good things offensively. 32 points, and really should have probably been more. But I feel like our offensive line played good again. I feel like our backs played good again. I felt like Tyler played good again, except for the 2 INTs late, and I take a lot of credit for that. A lot of that was my fault, and so overall, offensively we played pretty good, but obviously it wasn't good enough. We just got to keep working, keep getting better from here.
Looking at the stats, everything was really even, almost everything. Same amount of plays exactly, same total yards, just about the same first downs. Like you mentioned, the third downs, that was really the difference. Like I think 2 for 6 compared to 6 for 7 for them. And then -2 on turnovers. Is that really the difference in the game, especially when you look at about 2 or so touchdown difference?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, the turnovers late in the game, really hurt us. Anytime that you lose the turnover battle, you're going to have a hard time winning the game, and we stress that and we preach it. And obviously they had a +2 advantage on us in the takeaways. So to me that was the biggest difference. And then in the first half, I think we were able to kind of get them off the field one time, and we didn't capitalize. Or maybe it was after they scored and we got the ball back and we didn't score. We had to punt it, and so they kind of broke our serve in the first half, and we just had to – we needed to continue to score and keep pace, and we weren't quite able to do that.
And moving forward, so what's the overall mindset leading into all this?
Well, we had a great practice today. Our kids were energetic and excited, and I was real pleased with our practice today. But Odessa's a good team, and it's always tough to go over to Ratliff Stadium and play a game, and so we got to be prepared and ready. But I felt really good about today's practice, and I still feel like our kids are optimistic. And even though we didn't get the results we wanted versus Friendship, we got to flip the script. We got to turn the page. We got to focus all our attention on Odessa High and get ready for them.
Now 5 games into the season, what have you kind of learned and adjusted to being a head coach to this point?
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly a work in progress, and you learn a little bit every week, But just the fact that you gotta pay closer attention to defense, you got to pay closer attention to special teams, and offense still. It's you just try to do the best you can as far as dividing your time into all those areas, and so every week I feel like I learn a little bit, and it's a work in progress. Just like our team, I'm trying to get better at it each week as well.
Do you look at, and this is one of those questions that's really, it's based off of last year, and then obviously things in the future have to go a certain way, and you can never predict it. But was this game against Friendship one that you kind of looked at like, hey, every game obviously you need to win, but one that you needed to win considering, Friendship, you got Odessa and then Midland, and then the 3 playoff teams from last season on the back end. Did you take that into thought at all, or is it just approaching it like, okay, this is our first district game?
No, you want to win every district game, and every district game is important, and we knew the importance of the game, and we just didn't come out on top. But our kids were prepared and they were ready and they knew the importance of it. And but every district game is important, and you can't really compare last year to this year. I mean, teams are totally different as far as you lose seniors. Your team's totally different. Our team's totally different than it was from last year as well. But you take them one at a time and you do the very best you can one at a time, and then however it turns out, it turns out. But obviously every single one of these district games are super important.
Following up on that a little bit, I looked it up, and what I could find, this is the first time y'all have lost the first district game in a season since 2010. So that's like that was 10 straight years of winning the first district game, getting off to a good start.
Yeah.
And Odessa is also 0-1, and things just kind of get tougher with the teams as you go. So how critical is this? Is this one of your most important district games you've played in a while, considering you don't want to start 0-2?
Yeah. I mean, it is an important game, but they're all important, But yeah, I mean, every week is important because it matters for the playoffs, and obviously that's a goal of ours to try to get into the playoffs, and we still feel optimistic about that, But yeah, absolutely, this is an important game, and we got to go over there to Odessa and play a really good game, And so we're looking forward to doing that.
What did you have you seen from them? I know Villain High, a 20-point deficit or something like that. So I think they jumped out on them pretty quick. But I guess overall, just what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, they're a good team. They got a really good quarterback. He's playing well. He runs well. He throws it well. They got a big, tall 6'6" receiver that they like to target, but they got other receivers as well. Got a good back, so they're playing good. I mean, they're sitting here 2-3 just like us, and they've scored a lot of points. Even the games that they haven't won, they've been scoring points, and so I think Coach Ortiz, the new coach at Odessa, he's doing a really good job, and he's got them, obviously winning games and moving in the right direction, and so it's going to be a big challenge, just like every week. I know I've said it over and over, but every week in this district is a big challenge, and you got to be ready each and every Friday night to play. If not, you're going to get beat, and so we got to be ready Friday night against a good Odessa team.
And the rash of injuries you've had, obviously, especially on defense,
Yeah.
have an impact on the friendship game. Not getting too specific, what is are you going to be in better shape this week, or about the same, or what's your
Yeah, that's been a big key this year. It's really been kind of an unusual year as far as all that's concerned. But we're going to get a few guys back this week, which is obviously going to help. But we still got a few guys missing, but we will get a few back this week, so it's a positive thing.
Real quick about friendship again. Barry's going into the game, he averaged less than 4 yards a carry, had a little over 100 yards rushing, I think, on the season. And he showed that he's a really talented runner in this last game. I mean, was he better than you thought he was as far as running the ball goes?
Yeah, I mean, we knew he was good. Last year he got hurt with a collarbone injury and he didn't play in our game. But we knew he was a good player. I mean, you could tell on film he was a good player, and obviously, kind of like we've talked about, these district games are important, and so they kind of featured him this game because they knew he was a great player for them. But anyway, we knew what he was capable of, and he certainly had a good game against us.
Is the defense kind of the focus this week as far as maybe the thing to improve?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're trying to improve everything, though. I mean, it's not just defense. We're trying to improve defense, but we're trying to improve offense. We're trying to improve special teams. We're constantly trying to improve every phase of what we do, and so, obviously we need to play better on defense, but we need to play better on special teams. We need to play better on offense as well.
And Odessa, I think they're correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're another team that's pretty similar to what y'all do on both sides of the ball, spread, throw, and like a 4-2-5 on defense. So does that, kind of help get prepared?
Yeah.
Especially with the young defense?
Yeah, I think it does. I mean, just, when you play against yourself so much in the spring and in the fall camp and stuff, you become familiar with, those type things. So our defense is certainly familiar with a spread offense, and our offense is certainly familiar with a 4-man front defense. And so, yeah, I mean, it's helpful when you can play teams that are similar to you.
And looks like, they've really improved under Coach Ortiz. tall kid. He can run and throw. He's averaged over 300 yards per game passing this year. You think he might be the most talented quarterback in this, just as far as the passing game goes, since you've been here for Odessa?
Yeah, well, they had a Tea Garden back in the day when they were really good. They had Bradley Marquez and Tea Garden, so they those were some good players. But that was the early to mid 2000s, but yeah, I mean certainly he's a good player. There's no doubt about it. He's throwing the ball well. He's got good receivers. Offensive line's giving him time, so he's certainly capable. He's certainly a good quarterback. And he's been playing really well for him. They got a new offensive scheme. And they're running it well, and he's a big part of that because he's putting the ball on the money. He's been accurate, and obviously they try to run him quite a bit as well, and he does a good job in the running game as well. So, yeah, he's a really good player for him.
And I guess final thing for me, when you start off district with a loss, obviously not something you want to do, but with the being that you still have 5 more district games, how much of it is telling the guys like it's going to be okay? We still have an opportunity to y'all could run the table and still win this district title or win a district title. How important has it been to kind of just like hammer that home, or are they still motivated and ready to go attack this thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are motivated and they're ready to keep going. I mean, it's life's tough, sometimes, and you have setbacks, and just like football mirrors life, I mean, this is a setback, but it's not a final destination. And so, we obviously wanted to win last week, and we didn't get it done, but we've got to move forward, and we've got to keep improving. And like I said this morning, man, we had a really good practice, and our kids were optimistic, and they had a really good Monday. Really, probably one of the best Mondays we've had all year, and so that was good to see. But this thing is far from over. I mean, we got 5 more games here in district, and anything can happen. I mean, nothing is set in stone, nothing is finalized, and so we're going to continue to fight and work hard every single day. And like I said, take it 1 week at a time, focus on one opponent at a time, and go from there.
Coach, you've had a lot of injuries, as they've stated, also 0-1, so it's like you're in a battle in this game. So my question is, what would you tell your team as far as saying, okay, guys, as far as relax, what would you tell them about not feeling the pressure or putting pressure on themselves?
Yeah, I mean, we don't talk a whole lot about pressure or anything like that. I mean, they know what they're here to do. They know what it's about. I mean, they understand what we're trying to do, and so really you don't talk a whole lot about it. You talk about the opponent that you're facing this week, and here's what they do, and here's what they do good, and here's what we got to be ready for, and here's what we got to stop, and you kind of approach it like that. I mean, you don't talk in terms of pressure or feeling any pressure or anything like that. I mean, it's football, and in the grand scheme of things, it's a game. They love to play football and they love the game, but at the end of the day, it's football. And so we're taking it one at a time and doing the absolute best we can do one at a time. And I still feel like we have a good team. I mean, even though that we've lost 3 in a row here, all 3 of those teams are good teams. I mean, you look, Vandegrift probably won't lose a regular season game. Tascosa ain't going to lose a regular season game. And I know Friendship got beat last week by Amarillo High, but, they had like 26 penalties against Amarillo High, and that's really unusual. I mean, some teams don't have 26 penalties all year. And so, I think Friendship has a good football team, especially on offense. I mean, I expect them to win some games in this district as well. I mean, they got 2 Division I offensive linemen. They got a quarterback I know is going to be a college football player. The running back was good, and so I mean they got good players, and so you just you keep playing one at a time, keep fighting one at a time, and do the very best you can.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.